3 campfire legends with receipts. Stay close to the light while we expose Polybius, Bloody Mary, and Cropsey, because real fear wears a different mask than fiction. Urban myths mingle whispered terror and half-remembered headlines. Tonight, we pull them apart like tangled cassette tape and show you exactly where truth bleeds through. First stop, the glowing arcades of the early 80s. Imagine cigarette haze, gaudy carpets, and that strange electronic heartbeat pulsing out of every cabinet. Into this neon jungle steps a matte black machine with no logo, no attract mode, only the austere name Polybius etched in teal. Kids feed quarters, then rumors say they stagger away clutching temples, vomiting, or forgetting their own names. Some claimed subliminal commands flashed for a single frame, instructing players to obey, forget, or worse, end their own game permanently. High-score initials allegedly trigger violent mood swings. Some players report flashing nightmares of geometric shapes long after they leave. Witnesses describe stern men in dark suits, visiting at dawn, opening the back panel, and collecting data tapes before vanishing again. Parents fear a government experiment. Gamers whisper the machine is alive. But step outside the fog machines and black lights, and Polybius evaporates. No newspaper cutting, police record, or arcade owner ever produced a photograph. The oldest trace online appears in 1998 on a niche forum for coin-op collectors, not 1981. 5 years later, a short blurb lands in a gaming magazine, amplifying the myth just in time for the early internet to spread it like a virus. Even the supposed developer, a German word meaning sense deletion, is absent from any corporate registry. So where did the panic come from? Historians point to genuine medical incidents that hit Portland arcades in November 1981 when 2 teens collapsed after marathon sessions of Asteroids and Tempest. Coincidentally, federal agents were conducting sting operations against illegal betting, walking through packed game rooms with clipboards and cameras. Blend those facts with Cold War anxiety over mind control research, and you have the perfect digital chimera. One arcade technician later joked that if Polybius ever existed, he would have been the guy called to fix the coin mechanism, yet no such service call appears on any invoice. Polybius remains the scariest game you will never play precisely because it never existed. Dim the lights, because we are heading to the bathroom. The ritual is simple but chilling. Stand alone before a mirror at midnight. Illuminate the glass with a single candle. Speak Bloody Mary 13 times, each louder than the last, and dare the reflection to move. Legend warns she will claw your eyes, steal your soul, or drag you through the glass. Variations swap the number of chants, switch the candle for a flashlight, or demand that you spin 3 times, proving the ritual evolves like a living meme. But whose fury are we provoking? Many point to Queen Mary I of England, a ruler remembered for sentencing nearly 300 Protestants to fiery deaths between 1555 and 1558. Her phantom pregnancy in 1555, later revealed to be either a tumor or a false pregnancy, spawned gossip that she had lost a child to dark forces. Shout, "I stole your baby," in the ritual, and, so the story goes, the queen returns for vengeance. Across the Atlantic, another candidate waits. Mary Worth, a 19th century Illinois woman some locals branded a witch after children in her care disappeared. Town folklore claims an angry mob burned her alive near a crossroads mirror, forever binding her spirit to reflective surfaces. Yet another face is that of Countess Elizabeth Bathory, an aristocrat from 16th century Hungary, accused of murdering and, rumor says, bathing in the blood of more than 600 young girls to preserve her beauty. Whether any of these women truly bled victims, as legend insists, is debated, but their reputations were murderous enough to feed an enduring horror game for adolescents. When the lights are off and your own pulse echoes in tiled walls, the mirror reflects every nightmare history ever provided. If peeling back dark history lights a fire in you, smash subscribe right now. Fresh truth bombs drop here every week. Back at the mirror, remember that folklore is a social dare. The real threat may be the hysteria we pass from friend to friend like a candle flame. No matter the origin, Bloody Mary remains the queen of improvised slumber party terror. Our last legend trades flickering screens and silvered glass for crumbling brick corridors on Staten Island. Kids whispered the name Cropsey, picturing a hook-handed lunatic who prowled the forest, snatching children and hauling them into the tunnels below the abandoned Willowbrook State School. Most parents dismissed the story as a grim fairy tale to keep kids out of trouble. Then children really started to disappear. Sleepovers across New York City suddenly featured nervous discussions about curfews, and police patrols intensified around playgrounds as panic outpaced proof. Between 1972 and 1987, at least 5 young people vanished near Willowbrook's chain-link fences and boarded windows. The school itself hid a darker history. Once a campus for people with developmental disabilities, it was shut down after a televised expose revealed residents living in filth and neglect. In July 1987, searchers found 12-year-old Jennifer Schweiger buried in a shallow grave steps from the complex. Police turned their focus to Andre Rand, a former custodian at Willowbrook who now squatted in makeshift camps within the ruin. Witness testimony and circumstantial evidence linked Rand to multiple missing children. He was ultimately convicted of kidnapping Jennifer and, in a separate trial, Holly Ann Hughes, though investigators suspect him in other disappearances. Rand will be 93 when he first becomes eligible for parole in 2037, a living reminder that some myths grow from real predation. Documentary filmmakers later asked whether Rand created the Cropsey story or simply stepped into a role the island had already imagined. Either way, the mugshot and the legend merged, proving monsters do not always need hooks for hands. Sometimes they just need opportunity. Polybius shows how easily fear fabricates itself from coincidences. Bloody Mary demonstrates that history's scars can echo through teenage dares. Cropsey warns that the worst nightmares occasionally crawl into daylight. Share this episode with your bravest friend, drop your own hometown legend in the comments, and above all, keep the lights on. Because in the shadow between memory and myth, anything can take form.